What's up, everybody? It's Shizuru back with another video. Today's video, however, is sort of different from my usual videos. Um, I haven't been posting for a while now, as many of you may know. Um, there is a reason for it. To be completely honest, recently, with life and everything going on, it's been hard to find a time to want to record and the time to record. And so if I don't want to record, I'm not going to record because I don't want to put out an inferior product. However, truth be told, I really did want to make a video before 2025 ends because just like the rest of you guys, I feel as 2025 has been hard for a lot of us. Um I will say 2025 has been hard for me personally, and obviously with everything that's been going on. um I feel like it's hard to really even put in words, but um to go into a little bit of detail that might help, you know, make others understand is I am someone who's dealt with mental health issues my whole entire life. um from a kid to my adulthood now, I've always struggled with mental health. At the age of 5, I was diagnosed with ADHD, which really affected me as a kid. Um, it caused for, very hard like relationship strains with my peers. Um, it made it difficult to want to make friends because I felt like I wasn't understand. I already had to deal with my problems with asthma, which means I wasn't able to athletically compared to my peers, which that was hard. But honestly, more than anything, it was just hard because it made me different from others. Um, I'm Asian American, and if you're different in school, it can be a lot really hard. I dealt with bullying. I've dealt with threats. Um, I've had, I've been called slurs, you know, been misraced, which, I have pretty thick skin, so I don't really care. However, as a kid, I did not have thick skin. And I remember each day, it always felt just terrible because I felt as if, like, I can't change anything about this. The stuff I was being made fun of was, stuff I can't control. Um, but anyways, in adulthood, it transformed from just the ADHD to anxiety and depression. Um, that was hard, and it's still hard. Every day it's hard. But when I first found out it was the hardest, I I try to have a good outlook on life, but it gets kind of hard. It gets really hard, especially because when when you don't feel like you it, when you don't feel like yourself, it's even harder to make bonds. I've had times where I've pretend or I've started liking something because someone I know liked it, or because I wanted to fit in, or I didn't want to look like the outcast. However, it didn't change really a thing. Because at the end of the day, I still felt sad and alone. And that's followed me until now. I've had days this year where I haven't wanted to get up, where I have wanted to just stay in bed all day and not want to do anything. And, you know, that's not something you should feel or feel like you have to feel. But it was something that I felt I had to. Um, I I work the graveyard shifts. I work on weekends. I can't make friends. The friends I do have, they are busy as well. Um, you know, I've just missed having human interaction. And I think that's what fucked with me the most and fucked with a lot of people. We're so far from what we once were. You know, when I was a kid, we used to, and this is gonna sound so fucking old, but when I was a kid, even though we did have stuff like game consoles, I still would make friends, you know, just in my neighborhood, um, or at school. But now, there isn't really a way to interact with others. Well, at least in my scenario. Making new friends, meeting new people, it's a lot harder now. Because now more and more people would rather just me online. Which I won't judge. And I'm not gonna be sad about it because that's just evolution. With how things change, it's gonna change everything else. And it's as simple as that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change that. It can still feel so disheartening. Not just that. It's way more than just that. But I would say it's hard feeling like you're stuck in a hole or in a dark place. But things can get better. I've had times where I felt like I've reached rock bottom and it felt like it just got even further down. And that sucks. No one wants to feel like that. However, it's just the truth. It's what happens. Um However, it does get better. It could take months, weeks, days, years, and sometimes it'll feel like it never got better. But even if it's slowly, it has gotten better. And it will continue to get better. At the end of the day, I would just like to think that maybe I can do something just to change someone's mind and thinking that it won't get better. And even if I don't get to do that, I'm still gonna say it. I'm gonna keep preaching about it because it's important for everyone to know it'll get better. Even when you think it won't, and even if it doesn't get fully better, over time, it will. Anyway, I've been Shizuru. Thank you all for watching. Have a Merry Christmas, and I hope 2026 is a happy new year. Bye bye.